Hello, in this video, we're going to be looking at the second part of lesson 10.4, so 10.4 day 2, and this is going to cover how do we find the surface area of cylinders. A cylinder is a 3D figure with two congruent and parallel circular bases. So the base of a cylinder is always the circle. The height of the cylinder is the distance between the two circular bases. So you can see in the diagram here that the height is right there. The lateral area is going to be the area of the rectangle that wraps around the cylinder. So that rectangle right there is the lateral area. Notice that its height is the same as the height of the cylinder, and then its length is 2 pi r, which is really just the circumference of that circle base. So that gives us a formula for the lateral area. The lateral area of a rectangle, its base times height. The base is this 2 pi r, and the height is that h. So that gives us a formula for the lateral area of any cylinder is 2 pi r h, where r is the radius of the cylinder and h is the height. To get the surface area of a cylinder, we just need to add in the two circular bases. And the base here is a circle, and we know the area of a circle is pi r squared. So for the surface area, we'll take whatever the lateral area is, and then we'll add two circles, so that's 2 times pi r squared. You can also write the formula, just surface area together, as 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. I usually like the first formula where I find the lateral area first, and then I take the lateral area and add that 2 pi r squared. And that pi r squared there is just the area of the circular base. So this is actually the exact same formula that we used for a prism. The surface area of a prism was the lateral area plus 2 times the area of a base. A cylinder, we can just be more specific because the base is always a circle. So 2 pi r squared. So with these formulas in mind, let's go ahead and calculate some surface areas of cylinders. We'll begin by finding the lateral area of each cylinder, and then we're going to write our answers in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest tenth. So let's begin with lateral area. To get the lateral area, we need to use the formula LA equals 2 pi RH. R is the radius, and we can see in the diagram the radius is 3, and H is the height, the distance between the two circular bases, 5. So let's plug those values in, 2 pi times 3 times 5. And we want to keep the pi in until the end. So when you take your calculations, just take 2 times 3 times 5 and then put a pi at the end. So that ends up equaling 30 pi. So that's my exact lateral area, 30 pi, and then it would be centimeters squared. To get the approximate value, type 30 pi in your calculator. If you have a TI-30, like one of the yellow calculators, you might have to put a decimal point after the 30 and then click pi for it to give you the decimal value. And when you type that in your calculator, it ends up being like 94.247, keeps going. We're going to be rounding to the nearest tenth, so 1 decimal position. So I'll say about 94.2 square centimeters. Next up, we can calculate the surface area. And to get the surface area, now that we know the lateral area, the surface area is just the lateral area plus 2 pi r squared. We're going to take the exact value here, leave everything in terms of pi. So I have my 30 pi plus 2 pi times r squared, and r squared is 3. So 3 squared. Taking my calculator here, that's 2 times 3 squared is 9, so 2 times 9, 18 pi. And 30 pi plus 18 pi, since they both have pi's in them, those are like terms. So 30 pi plus 18 pi is 48 pi. And it's an area, so we have centimeters squared. So that is our surface area. To get the approximate value, just type 48 pi in your calculator. And when you do that, 48 pi is equal to 150.796. And again, I should just be using the pi button on my calculator. That's where I got that number. So rounding to one decimal position, it would be 150.8 square centimeters. Let's try another example. Here we have a cylinder. Notice that it's not sitting on its circular base, but the base of the cylinder is always the circle. Careful here on this problem, the 20 goes all the way across the circle, so 20 is actually the diameter. The radius is half of that, divide by 2, so my r is 10. The height is the distance between the bases, and you can see that the height here is 10 as well. So using our lateral area equation, we have LA equals 2 pi RH. So that's 2 pi times 10 times 10. And we're going to just multiply the numbers together, 2 times 10 times 10. And that ends up being 200. Keep the pi in your answer. So I have 200 pi inches squared for the lateral area. When we calculate that, 200 pi is about 628.318. So that's approximately 628.3 square inches. And now we're ready for our surface area. The surface area of the cylinder is the lateral area plus 2 pi r squared. That gives us the area of the two circular bases. So I'm going to take my 200 pi from step 1 and then add 2 pi times 10 squared. So that's 200 pi plus 2 pi times 10 squared is 100. That's another 200 pi. So 200 pi plus 200 pi makes 400 pi. So that would be our surface area, 400 pi square inches. And if we type 400 pi into our calculator, it gives us 1,256.637. So rounding to the 10th, that's 1,256.6 square inches. And there's our surface area. Here's a try now problem for you to try on your own. Please pause the video now and give this a try. When you're ready, hit play and the answers will be posted. Please pause now. Okay, here is your solution. The lateral area is 154 pi, or approximately 483.8 square feet. And then the surface area is going to be 396 pi square feet. All of the work is shown there if you want to check out how I did the problems. This is the last problem in lesson 10.4, so you're now ready to complete your 10.4 CYU. Day 1 portion is the first 3 questions on finding surface areas of prisms, and then day 2, the last 3 questions will all involve cylinders. Thanks for watching, and good luck as you try some problems on your own. Bye.